What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Well, the hits just keep on coming for the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelican star Zion Williamson is out indefinitely with a strained hamstring. It was confirmed today that the often injured Williamson had medical imaging this morning to confirm the injury and that further updates will be appropriately provided. This continues a trend for the number one overall pick in the 2019 NBA draft and two-time All-Star, as he has dealt with numerous injuries during his career, having missed games this year with a hamstring injury and an illness. He's also dealt with foot, quad, and knee issues, limiting him to just 190 games played in his 5 seasons, although he did play in 70 games, last season. Zion, who is 24, signed a 5-year, nearly $200 million contract extension just 2 years ago, but reportedly the final 3 years of the deal are not guaranteed, with provisions built into the contract concerning games played and his struggles with conditioning. He is making $37 million this season. Zion Williamson is averaging 22.7 points, 8 rebounds, and 5.3 assists for the New Orleans Pelicans, who are 3-7, which has now lost 7 of his last 8 ball games. This injury comes on the heels of other players being out for the New Orleans Pelicans. That includes C.J. McCollum, DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, and Jordan Hawkins. So, not to mention the fact that you have a disgruntled star in Brandon Ingram, who is increasingly unhappy being in New Orleans, but because of the way that his contract is structured, the value of his contract, and the environment of the NBA, he's kind of, I think, stuck there. Last time I looked into that, so it's like it's just ugly right now in New Orleans, man. Look, I saw another channel talk about this, how not only are the Pelicans dealing with injuries, but the Saints, the football team, the New Orleans Saints, half of their roster is out with injuries. And at this point, you can't put it on just conditioning, because Zion Williamson came into this season in the best shape of his life. So I can't put it on him being out of shape. There's something going on. There's something going on with these players, man. And I have my suspicions as to what it could be, but we're not allowed to talk about it on YouTube. But I have my suspicions as to what it is, because, there are side effects for using certain things, and a lot of them are issues with cartilage, knees, tendons. But anyway, I mean, you got to ask yourself, if this is a truly organic or physical problem with Zion, and it's not his weight, is there an issue where maybe he just physically, maybe he's like a Greg Oden, or he's like a, what's what I'm looking for? Who's player I'm thinking of? A Sam Bowie, or is he like a Ralph Sampson? Is it just that his body, just the way his body structure is, he's just not cut out to play and to withstand the rigors and the demands of an NBA season? There are some people who are complete athletic beasts. Ralph Sampson was a tremendous athlete, one of the great collegiate players of all time. But he broke down from injuries. Some of it was his size. Not that he was heavy, but he was 7'4". And oftentimes players that tall, that their legs break down. Zion is like built sort of wide, and the way he plays above the rim, sort of explosive. A guy like that, he's bound to probably have premature issues with his knees and probably his hamstrings and his feet. And that's exactly what he's having issues with. But the problem is he's only 24 years old. And many of us said when he was drafted back in 2019, when he blew out his shoe, when he was playing for Duke, you could just kind of look at the way he was built then, and he was a little smaller then, that, this guy's not going to play a very long period of time. I was thinking, and I know a lot of us said, man, he'd be lucky to be playing in the league when he was 30. And here he is, 24 years old. And look, this is his history right here, man. This isn't me trying to be mean, but this is his career. First season, 24 games, only averaged 27.8 minutes per game. His production has always been there. The production is there when he's healthy. 24.6 points per game, 59% shooting for his career, 34% from downtown, 6.6 rebounds, and that's pretty weak for a forward. But the 4.2 assists is there. The problem is his availability. Second year, only 61 games. Third year, only 29 games. Last year, he did play in 70 games. Had a good year. Not great year, but good. And this year already, he had already missed some games due to injuries and illness. And here he is now, out indefinitely. How long? I don't know, but this could be another season. That's an absolute disgrace for the Pelicans organization. So, if I haven't said this already, I think I said it, but maybe I didn't. He suffered from a hamstring injury last year in the play-in against the Lakers, or should I say Fakers. I think it was a non-contact type situation. I think he was driving, wasn't he? When he sort of pulled up and he walked off the court, and we were all kind of confused and said, okay, like apparently he suffered some type of injury. It was a hamstring injury, and he was no longer available for the Pelicans the rest of the playoffs. And I think in this situation, he was playing defense, and he just immediately left the game when he felt discomfort. I think another thing that's hurting the NBA too in sports is the money, because these guys make so much money that the organization wants to protect them. They're an investment, and they don't want to risk that investment. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to pay a guy so much money and then he's not available. So, well, I shouldn't say that. You don't want to pay a guy and then ruin his career, I guess. So they're willing to have these guys sit out games because they feel like, well, that's going to extend, that will lessen the chance of him getting injured worse and keep his career progressing. And I understand that to a degree, absolutely. And with the hamstrings, I know they're extremely painful. I've pulled my hamstring before. I've injured my hamstring. It's extremely painful. Um, and I'm not trying to blame Zion on this, but it just could be a situation, man, or maybe he just physically can't reach the demands or meet the demands of playing basketball. There's some guys who are injury prone, great players. Brandon Roy comes to mind too. Um, Penny Hardaway, I don't think it was necessarily that he couldn't play the game. I think he just had unfortunate injuries that started a trickle down effect where he just kept getting hurt. Same thing with Grant Hill. But there are some guys that just maybe, whatever the case may be, they can't play, man. But it's messed up, man. I know a lot of times people come on here and they want to talk shit about Zion, but in this situation, I can't say it's a situation where he's not physically prepared. I think he was physically prepared to play the game this year. I think it's just more or less, man, maybe this guy just can't play the game on a level as of the NBA, man. Maybe his body isn't built to play this game. Maybe that's what it is, man. I know it's just extremely frustrating. I'm pretty sure he's frustrated. But at the end of the day, you know, Pelicans fans ain't trying to hear that, man. You know. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.